And with us this morning is Manila Representative Benny Abante himself. Good morning, Congressman. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. And good morning to all of the listeners and viewers of your program.
Okay, so Congressman, let's begin with this fourth impeachment complaint. What convinced you to endorse this particular one? And what makes it different from the first three that were already filed against VP Sara?
Well, I was reading the impeachment complaint at the section's office kahapon, and nakita ko na there are similarities of the impeachment complaint that we filed for the first time. And then, ang pinakaiba dito is the affidavit of Ramil Lagunoy Madriaga, which I believe would be siguro matatawag nating smoking gun yan, no? Sa impeachment complaint against Sara.
And were you able to verify some of the evidence in this particular complaint, Congressman? Do you think mas malakas ito compared to the other three?
Oh yes, in fact, kasi alam mo naman na I was co-chair of the Quadcom hearings, and nakita namin lahat ng mga ebidensyang ito. And also I was a member of the Tricom hearing, of which the Vice President did not even take an oath, no? Siguro, if she took the oath of her office in the Tricom hearing at naupo siya ron at she was able to answer all the questions, perhaps the people would be able to know the answers to some questions na until now are being unanswered. So, yun ang siguro, ito na ang pinakamagandang opportunity for the Vice President to answer all the questions. If she indeed would take an oath, kung halimbawa she will appear before the impeachment court.
But of course, nandun pa rin yung question, Congressman, if this will hurdle the sufficiency in form and substance. Nakita natin in the impeachment proceedings against President Bongbong Marcos, parang it was a big challenge for the complainants to even get their complaints to hurdle this stage. So with that said, Congressman, do you think itong fourth impeachment complaint that you endorse will be able to hurdle that sufficiency in substance, knowing na merong requirement ng personal knowledge and authenticity of records? Do you think this affidavit of Ramil Madriaga would be enough to satisfy those requirements?
In fact, Ramil even made a statement that he is going to appear. So, magiging personal knowledge yan. I am actually reading the affidavit that Ramil Madriaga submitted, ano pala to, nag-take up ng law ito at talagang malapit sa ating Vice President. So I believe that the people should know what Ramil Madriaga said, dahil dito nakalagay din dito na yung kanyang finorm na campaign group, no, yung ISIP, the funding for the ISIP Pilipinas national campaign that was done in 2021-2022, and sabi niya, no, allegedly came from pogo operators and drug dealers, of which nagko-connect doon sa aming investigasyon against the EJK during the time of her father's presidency.
Kayo po ba, are you in talks with Mr. Madriaga, Congressman? Or wala pa?
Well, I met him at the section's office for a while. I told my staff that I'm going to meet him right there at the section's office. And then doon ko nalaman ang impeachment complaint at humingi ako ng kopya. I have the copy right now of the impeachment complaint actually.
And upon meeting Mr. Madriaga, are you convinced with his credibility as a witness against the Vice President?
Yes, he told me that he is a lawyer in Lemery, Batangas, and that he is actually involved with PDEA. So therefore, involved din siya sa paghuhuli ng mga tinatawag na drugs mo. And then, upon reading all of the impeachment complaint, nakita ko naman na maayos at talaga namang makikita mo ang kaibahan ng impeachment complaint against President Marcos at saka yung impeachment complaint against Sara, because nakalagay po dito halos lahat eh. Yung mga confidential fund, yung mga covert delivery or distribution of cash to influence official functions, nakalagay dito. And buo yung kanilang mga evidences.
So for you, Kong Benny, undeniable yung smoking gun na meron, yung smoking gun na evidence na hawak ninyo for this complaint, and would you say it's quite contrary or quite different from the case of President Bongbong Marcos, where you even said it was an exercise in futility? Di ba, nag-walk out pa nga po kayo, Kong Benny, because the complaints were very weak. So would you say this is a stark contrast to what you have right now?
I believe so. Hopefully, Ramil Madriaga will really make true and honest of his affidavit, no? Na hopefully hindi siya magbabago diyan. And he said naman that he's going to appear before the impeachment court, sapagkat ito nakalagay, binabasa ko dito yung confidential fund na ibinigay in 2022, 2023, nagbanggit pa siya ng mga tao dito, no? For example, like the 80 million delivered to Santiago family, the 80 million cash inside Theos, nakalagay dito very clear ang affidavit ni Ramil Madriaga. I'm hoping that he's not going to change the tune, no? That he will be honest and truthful in when he appears before the impeachment court.
Well, this complaint filed by Attorney Cabrera, Kong Benny, is hinged nga on 7 articles of impeachment, among them betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution. But which among these articles, these grounds, do you think is the most compelling one? And tama po ba na kailangan kahit isang article lang ang maipasa sa committee for it to move forward to the trial stage?
Actually, all of the allegations here have evidences, no? Whether it be the culpable violation of the Constitution, yung betrayal of public trust would be perhaps sa akin more viable, no? Sapagkat nakita ko dito yung the bribery, for example, the distribution of cash, na pinag-usapan din namin yan sa Quadcom, pinag-usapan din namin yan sa Tricom during that time.
Kong Benny, is this complaint already with the speaker, with the office of Speaker Boji D?
I really do not know because last night I signed in favor of the impeachment complaint. It's still in the hands of the SecGen. I believe it will be forwarded to the Speaker's office after that.
Because Speaker Bojidi only has until March 2 to include the first 2 to 3 impeachment complaints sa order of business. So, may implications ba yun, Kong Benny, with this fourth one? Kailangan ba isama rin siya before March 2 so that it would not be dismissed?
Yeah, it might be. I think we have to follow the decision of the Supreme Court concerning this. No? Hindi na pwede na hindi namin sundin ang sinasabi ng Supreme Court. No? I believe that the 1-year rule has expired and we still have to file the impeachment complaint, and they're all proper. So palagay ko magiging proper naman ito sa House of Representatives.
And do you think, Kong Benny, merong appetite for that express route, yung express lane na tinatawag, wherein 1/3 of the House will vote to and sign on this on any impeachment complaint in order to automatically make them the articles of impeachment?
I would be sure that in the Committee on Justice, of which I'm also a member, this will pass in the Committee of Justice. And I believe that what is one third? One third is only about 100 congressmen. No? I believe that
105, I think, Kong.
I believe that in the House, this will pass. This will pass.
Oh, but what about yung express lane, yung parang dati, yung last year Kong Benny, kung saan agad-agad siyang ginagawang articles of impeachment and was transmitted to the Senate as the impeachment court. May ganun pa bang
Nais ko lang
ugong-ugong?
is for us to be able to properly follow
Okay.
the wishes of the Supreme Court, no? Whether it be dadaan yan sa after Speaker's office, it will pass through the Committee on Rules, then it will go to the plenary for vote, no? Palagay ko, if we are going to follow the decision of Supreme Court, walang magiging problema dito.
Okay, Kong Benny, let's talk about the timing of this fourth impeachment complaint. It was filed on the same day that Vice President Sara Duterte announced her bid for the presidency in 2028. Coincidence lang po ba yun, Kong Benny?
I think it's just a coincidence because I really didn't realize. No, I was even surprised that as early as this time that the Vice President would declare her intention to run. I know that she would like to run for the presidency, but I didn't have any idea that she will be declaring her intention to run yesterday.
But if I can ask you, Kong Benny, what did you make of the announcement of the Vice President? Sabi niyo nga po, it didn't really come as a surprise to many, but what caught everyone by surprise was the timing of her announcement. It's quite early in the game. We're still 2 years away from 2028. Kayo po, ano yung naging tingin niyo sa naging declaration ni VP Sara kahapon?
Sa akin, it might even be a blessing in disguise to the rest of those that we would like to run for the presidency. Pangalawa, I believe that her announcement to run for the presidency as early as this would be exposing herself more to a lot of things. Ibig sabihin yan, talagang titinan ng taong bayan.
Okay, so my next question for you, Congressman, is some analysts say that her announcement was more of a message and a signal to congressmen at the lower house regarding the impeachment, saying that this could be like a dare to congressmen, like I dare you to continue with this impeachment. What do you make of that, Kong Benny?
I believe that her announcement should be beyond politics. If she indeed would like to serve the Filipino people, if she indeed say that her presidency would be the one to really do that, it's up to her, no? Pero sabi ko nga, I hope that is beyond politics. I hope it's not announcing it because inaano niya na yung mga kalaban niya. I trust that she is honest enough to tell the Filipino people, I have something to offer that my father did not offer before.
But do you think na magkakaroon po ito ng implications sa impeachment process? Because at the end of the day, an impeachment is a political game and some of the members might be thinking twice about voting in favor to oust VP Sara.
Well, it might be, no? I still, it remains to be seen, eh. It might be, no? Or hindi rin nangyayari. O for example, like those people that actually wanted the Vice President to be impeached, lalo silang magiging passionate dito about the impeachment.
Isa na po ba kayo doon, Kong Benny?
Yes, I believe I am because nakita ko naman I would like to tell the Filipino people that I did not endorse this impeachment just for a political ploy, no? Sino ba ako? I'm just a congressman and she's the Vice President. Naniniwala po ako dun sa impeachment na ginawa eh. That's the reason why sabihin ko ulit, no? In a way, alam na po ni Vice President Sara that I will not be supporting her for the presidency.
Earlier, you said an interesting point, Kong Benny, that maybe the timing of VP Sara's announcement is a blessing in disguise for the candidate that you want to run. Tell us more about this candidate, Kong Benny. May naisip na ba, may mga usap-usapan na ba in your party on who could be a viable contender for Sara Duterte?
Wala pa naman. In fact, my own party, the NUP, wala pa naman sinasabi sa amin kung sino talagang suportahan namin for the presidency. Sinabi ko lang, it's a blessing in disguise because as early as this, the Vice President has exposed herself to the Filipino people and therefore, dapat na talagang magkasundo itong mga presidential candidates, for example, that would like to run against Sara. Naniniwala naman ako at this point in time, medyo strong pa siya pero as people have said and I would like to say that she is not unbeatable. I do not think that Vice President Sara would want to say in pride that I am unbeatable, I'm very strong. No, nobody is strong. It's still alam mo ano yan yung bang parang bola pa din yan, no? It's the Filipino people that will make a decision on that. See.
But some analysts say, Kong Benny, it's going to be a one-on-one battle. If there was any chance for another candidate to defeat Duterte, it should be a one-on-one battle. So what kind of candidate do you think should be fielded against Sara Duterte?
Well, if there's anyone that would be in opposition to the Vice President, if she runs for the presidency, it's someone that does not have any corruption case at all. Now, the Vice President has a lot of corruption cases, and she must answer all of that in the impeachment court. No, siguro yung makakalaban niya must have clean hands on this, and makakalaban niya should really be really honest, and makakalaban niya should have something viable things to offer to the Filipino people, and that is what our people want. I think ang mga kababayan natin napapagod na sa mga problemang nangyayari ngayon. We would like to have a change on that. Naniniwala po ako that our people would like to have a big change as far as the presidency is concerned.
If we were to ask you, Kong Benny, what would another Duterte presidency mean for the Philippines in 2028 if Duterte does emerge successful in the presidential race?
Well, I'm hoping against hope. No, I still hope that Vice President Sara, if ever she becomes president, would have a change of heart as far as being the president is concerned, no? Hopefully, she will do that. Hindi naman ako nawawala ng pag-asa whoever is the president. Pero sa akin, no, I think that the presidency of the Duterte should be over. Tapos na yan. I mean, we are talking about the anti-dynasty bill, no, that will soon become a law. Sana naman makita na ng mga kababayan natin na tapos na yung political dynasty dito. Let somebody take the presidency that I believe that the Filipino people would want.
And what about timing, Kong Benny? Sabi nyo nga, wala pang napipiling standard bearer ang NUP, but are alliances possible down the line? And in terms of timing, kailan po ba, when do you think would be the right time to announce your candidate for 2028?
It might be possible, the alignments of political parties and those that would like to run for president would be possible and feasible. Naniniwala naman ako, there's still time, no? More than 2 years pa yan This is just 2026 and there's still time. And I believe that at this point in time, the Filipino people will have a very good chance to think it over. Ano ba talagang klase ng presidency ang gusto natin? Nais ba natin yung mga naging presidente in the past, no? And naniniwala po ako that this time, the Filipino people will use their mind and their hearts and their compassion for the Philippines and their passion for the presidency at this time. Naniniwala po ako there'll be a change that will be happening.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning and for sharing all your insights with us. It was a pleasure talking to you. That was Manila Representative Congressman Benny Abante.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.